It has been another week in the next generation of consoles, another week with the Xbox Series X and the Series S, and we are back. We're the XoneBros. This is your positive gaming and Xbox community. This is podcast number 338. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us today. As always, I am joined by the bros, the XoneBros. First, it's Mr. McSpicy.
Hello.
There is Jord the Man.
Hello.
And last but not least, I am X1. Welcome to today's show, everybody. We're just going to jump right into it today. Cold War. Call of Duty Cold War.
It's been out about a week now.
It is here. Jord the Man, you got to play. You streamed it last night, actually.
Yeah, the campaign.
And I want to know. I mean, that's what you buy it for. Let's be honest. To be able to race RC cars up to an airplane and blow it up.
I did that level.
How was it? Was it
good.
And was it as good as it looks on the commercials? You know, on the trailers.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
All right. Well, that's good. Well, that's our segment for Call of Duty.
In fact, should we pull up that trailer? Because that trailer is mind-blowing. But Jordan, give me your first impressions of Call of Duty Cold War. What are your thoughts? Do you like it? Does it live up to your expectations? Where does it stand in comparison to the last Call of Duty campaign?
Well, okay, so I haven't finished the campaign. I played a bit of each, right? I played a little bit of zombies. I played a little bit of the multiplayer. I played a little bit of the campaign, right?
Okay.
And then I played Warzone.
Okay.
But, you know, who doesn't?
Who doesn't?
So anyway.
Exactly.
No, I think as a game, it's a good game. I think it's a good, fun game. Now, I'm kind of torn here, and this is where everybody's going to get mad at me in the comments or whatever, right? Because everybody's got their own opinion about Call of Duty games, right? I think it's a good game, and I do like it. I think, as a whole, I think I lean toward Modern Warfare being the better game.
Really?
Just because we were talking about this a little bit earlier. Call of Duty Black Ops is like a classic Call of Duty experience, I feel like. It feels like a classic Call of Duty game, right? Modern Warfare, I feel like, was an evolution of Call of Duty, like the next step for Call of Duty, right?
Okay.
I feel like the movement is a little bit more fluid in Call of Duty. And let's just talk about multiplayer specifically.
Okay.
Multiplayer, so competitive multiplayer specifically. I feel like the movement is a little bit better in Modern Warfare. A little bit smoother, a little bit cleaner.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
Okay.
Cleaner is kind of the best, for lack of a better word. I feel like it's cleaner movement. Movement in Cold War is not bad. It just to me it doesn't feel as clean.
Are these built on
this?
These are built on the same
different
engine?
engines.
Oh, there you go.
Different engines, right? There's things missing from Cold War. And again, I think this all really comes down to preference, really. In Cold War multiplayer, you can't mount your weapon and you can't tactical sprint.
Okay.
I thought those were both really good additions to Call of Duty.
Sure.
You would think two little things like that, whatever, right? But I do miss them.
Sure.
In the new game, right? Especially in campaign, right? There'd be many moments where mounting your gun would work out perfect, even in multiplayer, right? Yeah. So as it stands right now, multiplayer, I don't know. I feel like for me at least, Modern Warfare comes out ahead.
Okay.
One for movement. I just feel the movement's a little bit cleaner, more fluid. It feels like when mounting on stuff or when jumping over things, like jumping through windows, it feels better.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just me, right? Not to say Call of Duty feels bad, but it's just not quite there, right?
Okay.
There's little features that are missing, like the mounting and tactical sprint that I actually really do like. So anyway, I think I like the multiplayer better in Modern Warfare. As for the campaign and zombies, I do think zombies, this is actually the best it's been.
Oh, wow.
I like this zombies much better than I like Black Ops 4 was the last one, right?
Why?
It's just funner. It feels
Has
better.
the fun factor.
The fun factor is great.
Okay.
Yeah, it feels better. I like the maps. I mean, I know zombies. Zombies is a good formula altogether, right? But I feel like this zombies is just really good.
Yeah.
You know, dude, it's really fun. Zombies is the mode I've played the least, so keep that in mind, right? But and then campaign's your campaign. It feels good, it looks good, and it's hilarious. But
is it as Michael Bay as it looks here? Like just action packed?
It's definitely Michael Bay. Let me tell you about the first level.
Okay, go ahead. Drop
So
it down.
the first
there's
level,
the RC car. Yes.
In the first level, so the first level, we go and get this informant, and we're chasing him across rooftops, and you're just tearing this town up, tearing these rooftops up, killing people and all this stuff, and you finally catch the guy. and you actually get options, which I do like about the Call of Duty, at least the Black Ops series. I think they did it a little bit in Modern Warfare, but I know they do it more in Black Ops, right? Now, keeping this in mind, I do know the Black Ops story and the characters, but I've actually never played a Black Ops campaign before, so this is my first Black Ops campaign.
Okay.
I mean, I know the characters Mason Woods just because they're iconic, right? But anyway, so take it from that, right? So you catch this guy that you chase across the rooftops, and you're hanging him over the edge, and you're basically like, "Give me the information." And he goes,
"Do I look like a cop?"
yeah, you're doing it. And he specifically says, "You guys are Americans. You have rules." And your partner takes his comrade and throws him off the rooftop. And the guy goes, "What are you doing?" He was like, "I thought you were Americans. You're not allowed to do that." It was hilarious. And you're like, "Do you want to talk now?"
Wait, he threw his own teammate?
No. So your partner took hit.
I thought you just said he grabs his partner.
No,
and he's like, "Oh yeah, this is what I do to this guy."
Yeah, don't really do this to my friend.
He takes the other prisoner. Sorry. So you catch the one prisoner and and he goes, "You're an American. You can't do that, or you can't do this." And he takes the other prisoner and just throws him off the rooftop. The guy dies. He lands on a taxi.
That's hilarious.
And the guy's like, "Oh my gosh!" And then you get the option like, "Do you want to talk now?" It's actually
Where's Harvey dead?
No, and then the campaign, and then the next level is actually the airport level, and then it just goes on from there. I mean, it's your typical Call of Duty campaign. Right?
How is it
it's
having Robert Redford / Brad Pitt and Ronald Reagan?
Yeah,
Everybody.
yeah, it's actually really good. The campaign looks good. So you got some vehicle missions, which were surprising to me, that were really fun. There was a cool helicopter mission towards the beginning. There's some sneaking missions, and then there's obviously your airport mission, which is your high octane, intense missions. It's a really good campaign. I like it. That being said, I do think Modern Warfare's campaign was better.
Oh,
I have not beaten this one yet, and I do hear the ending is crazy.
Okay.
So I don't want to say which one is
Just
better
as
or not.
of right now.
But as of right now,
at equal points in the story, you feel
because
Warzone was
Okay.
better, or sorry,
so
Modern Warfare.
Modern Warfare had some crazy parts in its story, and
Dude,
they weren't
the first, 5 minutes.
yeah, when you
Yeah. Well, when you go to London.
yeah, when
Yeah.
you go to
And
Lo-
you're like,
but that wasn't
What?
wasn't funny. You were like, "Oh."
Oh shit.
Yeah, in this one when the guy got thrown off the roof, you were like, sucker.
What a loser.
Yeah,
There was-
don't test me.
Yeah, there was almost like a lighter tone, but anyway, no. I think the game is solid. I really do. I think all three modes are good. I really feel that Call of Duty, just the Modern Warfare, to me it felt like a better overall game.
Sure.
Right. I think it was in chat they're talking about, and this is the best way to describe it. I really do think it is. Modern Warfare is a steak. Call of Duty Black Ops is a really good hamburger.
Okay.
You know what I
can see
mean?
that.
Like they're both good, and I think what it's going to come down to is what style you like better, right? I think I tend to lean towards the Modern Warfare style,
Yeah.
Infinity Ward's a gameplay style, right? Whereas other people may like the Treyarch style a little bit better, right?
Okay.
So as of right now, I think if Modern Warfare was a 10, I'd say Black Ops is an 8. You know what I mean?
So it's really good.
Just to give you, yeah, I think it's good, and I think it's worth. I don't think it's worth $70. I think it's worth $60. Just got to throw that out there if you're getting it on the new consoles, because I think Activision is stupid for doing that. That's right, I said it,
Okay.
and I stand by
Fair
it.
enough.
Stand by. He
Yeah,
stands by it.
yeah. But no, I think it's a really good game. My only, I guess, big quips with it is it doesn't feel like movement is as smooth as Modern Warfare, and I do miss some of the little features like mounting and tactical sprint and stuff like that.
Well, once
right?
you get
So
used to tactical sprint,
it's hard to go back,
yeah,
right? Because it's
You
useful.
just double tap that, and then you're like,
Well, same with like I said,
star mode in Mario. You know,
like I said, I know they're like little features, and you think, oh well, who cares, right? But even mounting your weapon, like in multiplayer, you don't think you use it as much. I use it a lot because I'm trying to mount my weapon.
Sure.
You don't realize how much you use it. I'm trying to mount my weapon and I can't, right? So anyway, we'll see how it goes.
So there you go, everybody. That is Call of Duty Black Ops. It's first impressions. We'll follow this up next week as well, just to see if
Yeah, we'll
Jordan's
see,
opinion
how the
gets
story goes.
enhanced. If he thinks that it does actually indeed overtake Modern Warfare Call of Duty. I do want to jump in and just follow up on our discussion last week that we had of Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Last week we talked about Valhalla. We talked about we gave our first impressions on it. So let's start with Spicy real quick and just follow up now that we're much, much, much deeper into the game.
yeah.
Much deeper into the game.
Have you played a lot of it as well, or
No, this week I only played video games yesterday. But
one
I
of
was
those
a
weeks.
4-hour session, so those are nice
Yeah.
deep session for myself.
Sure.
But I want to know, what do you think now? Especially you played all the Odyssey and Origins, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so and that's where I think the comparison lies, because that was the shift to this new version of Assassin's Creed. Last week you really liked it. Do you still really like it? And where does it stand for you in the Assassin's Creed?
Oh, like as far as compared to the other games?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I still like the game. I'm still playing the game. It's
And how many hours do you think you are into it?
35, maybe 40.
Okay, a very decent amount.
Yeah, I played a lot on over the weekend last week, and then I tried to put in a couple hours every night, right? And apparently that put me up that high. So I think I'm playing up more than I think. But well, it's the only game I'm playing right now, right? Besides playing the game of life and work and all that stuff. But I still really like it. I have now been able to dial in things that I dislike about it, but I'm still playing it and I still really enjoy it. They've done some weird things, I think, with the climbing feature. I think they were trying to improve it, and I think it went back a little bit as far as...
It doesn't feel smooth. Even I, who've not been in since Black Flag, feel sometimes he doesn't go where I want him to go, climbing-wise.
I would like to say it like it is. It's terrible. I'm just gonna say it.
Okay.
Doesn't mean the game's bad. The game is good.
I bet you we
climbing.
could find a climbing montage.
Yeah. So I feel like they were like maybe in the engine they were like tightening the bolts, loosening the bolts here, and trying to get something that work. And you know, like in Forza, when you tune your car and then it just is just weird.
Yeah.
That's kind of where we're at. I think at this point, I think something went weird because it almost feels. I was having this conversation with my barber actually. It almost feels as though it's trying to drive for you when you're not making those moves.
On climbing.
Climbing.
It feels like, you want to know what it feels like to me? It feels like a magnet. Like I'm being, like I go in and it's like magnets me. That's exactly what you're saying, but I'm being pulled. I'm being stuck.
It's trying to drive for you. Like you'll be walking and then you'll like grab a ladder and I'm like, I didn't even press A. I didn't press anything, but he grabs the ladder, right? So it does some like things like that, and those are mildly frustrating. I don't necessarily care too much. I would just bring that up because it is a difference between Odyssey, which I thought it was in a good place.
Sure.
The climbing, and even Origins, I thought, even though there wasn't a lot of climbing in that game, it still felt pretty good.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So,
Although, again, it does feel... Do you think it's because a Viking is, like, bulky? Like, when I... like, Ivor, he's the main character, right? Like, or any of the Vikings in that game. It's not like a traditional Assassin's Creed character in that they're, like, lean and acrobatic, right?
well, no, I would disagree with that. I would just say this is a straight-up mistake. I wouldn't overthink that they planned to make gameplay sucky.
Trying to make it play to his body type. They're trying to match his body type.
I can see what you're saying, but it's almost like Obi-Wan is trying to tell, Luke, you got to let yourself go and then have it drive for you. And, it's not like I don't like it to start climbing without me pressing the button to climb kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
It does like magnet things that are really weird. So that is something that I would compare to the previous games. As far as the game, like the story and gameplay, I have some issues with it. I still think it's fun. I'm going to keep saying that because I still really enjoy this game. But I would say that I like to play a very specific play style in Assassin's Creed games, and I have since the beginning. I like to be stealth when I need to, all the time stealth. And when I need to take out a character from range, I like to have range damage, right? So I like those two things.
I heard you accidentally took out a character by accident, like in a marketplace or something.
Oh, what do you like? What do you mean? Like what's
like one of the contracts that you have to kill? Did you accidentally take out a character?
So
that you didn't realize he was a main contract killer?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. Part of the what do they call them? Not the assembly, but the
order.
The order. Yeah, the Order of Ancients, I think. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I accidentally took one out. Yeah, that's great. Those are happy. I call those happy mistakes.
Anyways, you like to play sneaky, and you don't feel like this does as good as a job as Origins?
You cannot play
or Odyssey.
You can't play this stealth. The game is very specific to forcing you to go into the red zone if you want to progress in certain areas of the game.
Sure.
Obviously, you can go through a town and stealth people, but
But it's not as mainstay as past titles, you're saying.
stealth is not. It's almost like in Call of Duty when they overpower the sniper and then underpower it the next version, overpower it, underpower it. You can't. Oh, let me give you some examples so you know what I'm talking about. With like speaking of the Ancient of the Order and all that stuff, they have these like hunters that go after you. They're like the hitmen of the ancients, right? So they go after you. And in Origins, it was they were I can't remember. They were like the phalanx. I can't remember their names. I don't know. Regardless, they're the ones that come hunt you. They're the ones when you get close to it, it has a horn that goes wah, wah, and it warns you that there's a high level person there to kill you.
Yeah.
Right? Those people are who I'm talking about. You cannot sneak up to them, and you cannot sneak attack them. It's not built into the game.
Yeah.
The icon never appears.
They want you to battle it out.
Correct. And that is a big change from previous games because you could build your character out to do massive damage to them and still fight them a little bit, but they're removing the whole point of adding stats to your stealth attacks because now you can't even fight those guys hand to hand. And those guys get really hard if you don't have the damage debuffs, like your armor plussing and all that stuff that goes from the tree going up north with the red stuff. That people that are playing this game probably have no idea what I'm talking about. When you go to hand-to-hand combat in the skill tree, you can have the damage do less to you. You can do more damage with your axe. You can build your character out to have a better chance at fighting those people, right? When you put all your stats into stealth and then you can't even use that stealth in those fights, it's nerfing that play style pretty harshly, right? There's a lot of things like that built into the game that I think force you to not
Be stealthy.
Even the whistle is broken. When you're hiding in a bush, and in the old games you could just go and they'd be like, what's that noise? And they would come out at you, and then you can sneak attack them. When you do that, the whole freaking town comes over, and they know exactly where you are,
like, hey.
and they charge you.
Hello, Billy. Billy, did you hear that?
Well,
I did, crikey.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go check it out.
and then you can't unstealth. Then you're in hand-to-hand combat. And let's say you attack a guy from over there. I don't know how Stan from the Baker Street over there knows exactly where you are.
Blimey, I think I know where he's at, Billy.
Hey, Steve just went down. He's right there.
I think he's over here.
Yeah. So the game is not meant for stealth, and it's done very specifically. I feel this is the year or the version of the game where they were like,
and in fairness, what your sentiment is in reviews and stuff that I've watched for people who don't like this game as much as past games, that's the exact criticism. They feel like it went away a little bit from Assassin's Creed. Like the past two Assassin's Creed especially, and that's a part of it was the stealth. It does feel like a very deliberate decision for Vikings, you know what I mean, the warfare, to really focus on the fighting aspect of it over the stealth.
Sure, and I'm gonna address people that may think that I'm talking about some captains and stuff. So in chat, Andrew Courtney says you can kill the strong enemies with one shot. There's an instant kill powerful enemy in Raven Tree Branch. You just have to right bumper press for one shot. That is for like the gold characters, like the people without names. They're called like the Giant or something like that. I call those the captains of a group of minions. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about when I was talking about
the zealots.
Yeah, the zealots on the tree. You can't right bumper anyone with a real name, basically.
Oh, okay.
Anyone that has a name that's not captain or giant or whatever. The option to assassinate is not even,
it's like grayed out.
It's not even grayed out. It doesn't even appear.
Sure.
You can't assassinate those people. So you're forced to have these mini boss fights without the skill tree that you spec'd out to. I know exactly what he's talking about too. It's the quick time event ability that lets you do massive damage on assassination. Well, you can't assassinate if the game won't let you assassinate.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Let's pull up some Valhalla gameplay while we're
Sure.
talking here. As myself, as someone who has not played since Black Flag, I really have very little complaints beyond. I do think that the climbing is not. Even Black Flag was better, right? It felt more fluid. This feels clunkier, I think. Like I'm getting sucked as a magnet, right? Mm-hmm. But overall, I really like it. See, and I have not experienced stuff. So, for instance, things are all new to me, like that, the tree, the Nemesis, their own Nemesis system, whatever it is, right? Like the tree of thing that didn't exist in like Black Flag, like the way they're presented. So that's all new to me. As far as the stealth stuff, I don't think I'm not as deep into it as you, so I've not had a lot of opportunities. I've made a lot of mistakes raiding areas that I'm way underpowered to raid.
Sure.
And just getting crushed.
Yeah, sure. And can I bring up the rating as well?
Sure.
That's another thing where the game is like forcing you to be a head-on combatant, like a frontline combatant. I go through, and this is how I figured this out. I'd go through and try to stealth the whole area, and I'm the kind of player, even in my Far Cry games.
Yeah.
I love stealth. If I get seen in a town, I go back to my save because it's like my own self-achievement. I want to stealth everybody in this town. You can't even do that with the raiding towns, with the raid like events, because it forces you to have a buddy with you to open the doors.
Yeah. And so you have to raid,
blow the horn, and go full on front assault and not be that. So the game is built for a person that plays it differently than me.
Sure.
I mean, I can play that style, and I am playing that style.
You just since it's Assassin's Creed, you expect there's a certain amount of stealth that is expected.
I would prefer.
Okay.
I would prefer. Why give me that skill tree if I can't enjoy that type of gameplay?
Yeah.
You know, and keep in mind. This is sounding very critical. I really enjoy this game.
No, this is just more that now we're into it deeper. Let me ask you this then: what do you really like about it?
Oh, I love with Far Cry games. I love with Assassin's Creed games. I love being able to go through a map and 100% area by area, getting stronger and stronger, getting more money, getting loot. Getting all those little achievements, and then eventually having that 100% achievement pop up on my screen. I love a game that I can just turn life off and just play some music if I wanted to, and then go to each mini quest, go to this, find this gear. I really like, also on top of that, how they do the gear in this one. I feel like Origins, the gear was, you kept getting gear all over the place, and you just had to constantly just dismantle, sell, dismantle. Gear is very rare in this game.
Sure.
And you have to choose a weapon and spend a lot of resources upgrading it to that like legendary status.
Yeah.
And I really like how there's only one spear, for example. There's probably more, but there's only one spear that does this. It's more like a Dark Souls where the weapons are unique and they do specific things, and you have to earn them and find them. And I really like how that is in this game versus Origins, for example, which I really like Origins as well. So,
Jordan, how about you? You're more and more hours into this game.
I think.
What are your thoughts? Do you agree with Mark? Disagree with Mark? Where are you at in the stealth versus battle discussion? Because I do think that is when you do see criticisms of Valhalla, especially from Assassin's Creed fans, that is the criticism that you do see.
Yeah. No, he's right with the stealth. So you can stealth, right? But at a certain point, you need to go battle, right? Like in
several points, like they have mini bosses all over the map that you have to press a button, like an interact. And then there's this huge fight with a character where now you can't stealth at all.
Sure.
Oh,
and
like the side quest, you mean?
We'll say one of the sisters. That doesn't spoil anything.
Yeah.
You know, the bosses that you have bosses on the map and legendary animals and everything, right? I just fought a wolf that I couldn't sneak up on because I had to start an event.
And you would prefer the sneaking. Because
because that's what I mean, that's the kind of character I like to play. I like to role play as a rogue, a stealth,
sure.
You know, so
yeah.
I didn't mean to, take Jordan's thunder a little bit, but go for it, Jordan.
No, yeah. So there's, you can like you said, there's certain parts where you can't stealth, right? So. Yeah, I don't know what I was gonna say.
So what are your thoughts?
I completely lost my train of thought.
First of all,
Sorry.
let's start here. What is your favorite Assassin's Creed?
I don't know. Probably like one of the first 3. Probably.
Oh, okay.
Like maybe 2.
Okay, because I was gonna say maybe it was these last like Origins or Odyssey or something.
I don't know. I mean, I like the. I don't know. It's hard to say because there's good ones and bad ones.
Sure. Okay.
So,
well, where does this fall for you?
No,
so
I like
far?
the game. I think it's fun. I think we're 27 hours in now,
Yeah.
so we're quite far. I do think it's buggy, and it's really buggy.
Well, that's par for the course.
Yeah, and it's frustrating that Ubisoft's just making buggy games, but because there's certain things in the game that are broken for me that I can't actually do or complete because
Correct.
Like quest lines.
quest lines, 100% areas, certain things like that, so that I can't do, which is frustrating. Anyway, no, but the one thing is I really do like I like the setting. I mean, England,
yeah.
Vikings. I think they always nail
Super
the setting,
cool.
right? But I really like. I like to do stealth. I'm not as stealthy as Mark, because I actually do like. I really like the combat system, which I know is split 50-50. The combat system reminds me a lot of Dark Souls because parrying is very key.
Useful.
Yeah. Well, can I just tap onto that real quick?
Uh-huh.
I like that not everybody is parryable.
I actually don't like that.
Oh, really? See, I like that. I
actually think that's really lazy and terrible.
No, I like it. I think
And
that
your opinion is wrong and stupid.
Yeah.
No, but I like it because I think it gives a feeling of even though you're powerful, there are people just as powerful as you. You know what I mean?
It's not that they're not parryable; it's they have unblockable moves.
Yeah, but that's
fine. But they still have parryable moves.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Okay. No, I thought you meant like you just can't parry them.
No. Just when they go red. You know what I mean? When they flash red.
So they flash orange or they flash red. Orange you can parry. Red means it's unblockable and you have to dodge. No, that's fine, and I like that. Right?
See, I like that mechanic.
No, I like that too. I thought you meant something.
I like
else
that we're like OP'd, but not to everybody. Like to the commoner, right? We are OP'd.
Yeah. So I like their leveling system, how they do it with the power level and stuff. I think it's really good. I like the gear system as well. I really like the skill tree a lot.
Skill tree is
really fun. So, but what I've been doing is I've actually been so my guy is spec'd out for arrows and then just in your face stuff.
Arrows in melee,
which
baby.
I think is a perfect balance to how this game is making you want to
intended
play. Yeah.
No, and I would agree with that. I think the game does urge you in a certain direction. You can play it stealth in certain aspects, right? But there is a point with the zealots, the raiding, because you do need to call in your raid to open doors. And there's actually even some raids where you have to get in to kill the boss.
Yeah.
Which you can't, because we were talking about it, because there's certain raids where you can just go and kill everybody and then call your guys in to open the doors. But there's also other raids where even if you went in and killed everybody first stealth, there's a boss that's locked in a room
that you have to
have two people. So like there's certain aspects of the game that force you to go head on, right? As opposed, like those certain raids, there is boss fights around the world that allow you to do it. Now, that's just, that's unfortunate, I guess.
Yeah.
Depending on your play style, right? So I'm not as super stealthy, so it's just kind of like, there's a guy.
Yeah, let's kill him.
Yeah, let's start with the face.
Yeah.
So, but no, I think it's fun. I really do enjoy the game. I continuously play it. I think Mark's correct in the stealth aspect. It's not as stealthy as the other games. Talking more so about, I think even in Odyssey was probably a little bit more stealthy than this one.
Oh, for sure. Well, and in Odyssey, you could stand up, you can basically attack a guy and then climb up to the top of the tower and Fuzro daw them off with your Spartan kick across the map. And even like that's like more, I know that's not stealthy, but that's like my version of frontline stealth, if that makes sense. And you feel like a bad A Spartan, you know what I mean? And I would also say that I feel like this game is more linear for an open world game than the past ones. I feel like it forces you, even though you do have some leeway to go left or go right or go forward in the story, it's still very much linear. It pushes you in a certain direction, whereas like Odyssey, you could basically go do whatever you want, kill whoever you want, whenever you want.
In Odyssey, you had the option to change the settings to what was it? You can have right in this game you essentially have zones, right? There's zone level
And power
1 to
zones.
10. Yeah, you have power, and that's how it kind of pushes you in certain because you have to go through a zone, level up, go to the next zone, stuff like that, right? I like that aspect because I like that sense of progression of leveling up through the zones and going through the world. In Odyssey, you could play that way, or you had an option in Odyssey where you can just make everybody your level. And then you can kind of go in any direction you want, right? Whereas this game doesn't have that option, which I actually don't know why they don't have that option.
It's interesting, right?
I think it's probably the way the power level is designed, I guess, maybe why. But anyway.
Well, I would even
uh,
say even the questing itself makes you feel more like you're on rails than the other one. I feel like the quests you
Like
do,
the
story
story
quests,
quests? Okay, yeah, I
make
see
you
what you're saying,
feel
yeah.
like you have to go this direction, whereas the other one it was just like, I'm Alexios, I can do what I want, kind of
Yeah.
thing, right? So
That being said, I do think because of that, the story and the cinematic value is better.
Like
Because Odyssey, let's be honest, what was the story of Odyssey? To kill people.
that's what I mean.
which is not bad. You know what I mean? But I do feel
That's true.
I do think in doing that, like having that roast, which I agree with you, the missions are a little bit more scripted, if you will.
Sure,
right?
That's fair.
But I do feel by doing that, you're able to tell a more
Well, that's where
detailed. What's the not detailed story, but like you're able to tell a story.
Control it.
Yeah, there you go. Control the story, which because I do think the story of this one is superior to the story of both Origins and Odyssey. But that's just most of that is because they actually have Assassin's Creed lore in it, which is interesting and fascinating and fun, right?
Yeah. Well, like
Good lore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good lore. Yeah.
This one has
Like, you
better
don't-
lore than previous.
You don't
games.
want to
Yeah.
skip Abstergo missions.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Right.
actually-
Whereas in the
they're
other
actually
games,
interesting.
up until this game, or besides the original trilogy or the original 5, I think there
I would
was.
say
right?
original 2. I only cared about Abstergo in the first.
Well,
two.
no, I cared about Abstergo all the way the Desmond storyline, which I think was 1, 2,
3.
3 plus the 2 Brotherhood Revelations and 4.
Wow, you cared a lot longer than I did.
And then I think 5 was Black Flag, or was no,
there was
3.
there was the
1, 2. Yeah,
Revolutionary War
sorry.
one.
Yeah, so there's 1, 2, 3, and then the 2 side ones, Revelations and Brotherhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 is where I stopped caring.
No, but the story is I've really been enjoying the story aspect of it as well.
So my final thoughts are I really enjoy this game. I'm going to 100% it. It has a lot of bugs. Some of
Yeah.
them are funny bugs. Some of them piss you off. But overall, and even though it's forcing me to play a style I don't care so much, the game is very good, and I'm still smiling as I play it.
Next gen experience, beautiful world. Does that stand out to you? It stands out to me. I really like the vistas and escape and landscape stuff like that. I think they did a good job for it being like a launch next gen game.
You know what helps it? This is going to sound weird. It's not, even though the graphics, are awesome,
Yeah.
the loading times help immerse me in the game far more than the
Oh, yeah.
graphics do.
Especially with fast travel.
Well, I know. Now I feel like I can just go places within seconds
Yeah. No, it's
and
true.
just keep playing. I'm always in the game, not in loading screens. And that, I mean, I used to have a sandwich next to me for loading screens. I don't even eat anymore.
Yeah.
That's good. You want to lose
Lost
weight?
weight this week.
Yeah.
Series X is a diet machine. No, I really like my second impressions. I really like it. I didn't play any of the newer Assassin's Creed, and so all these systems are new to me, which is refreshing, and I really, really like it. And I love being a Viking. In fact, Spicy, for those of you that are listening, Spicy looks like a Viking.
He does.
He looks like a
He's
Viking
actually
right now.
modeled after
Dude,
his
he's
character,
modeled
Eivor.
after his character.
Yeah, I am. Here, let me
Think,
take-
conquer,
hold on,
fight
so
like
you
a
can
Viking. There
Hey,
it is. Look
hey,
at that
See these
mullet.
mullet locks going
Hey,
on. It's
hey,
good.
can you tell them what you did this week with your character and your brother's wife? That was hilarious.
Well,
I think we need to reset the. We could probably move on.
Oh, yeah.
That was like one
in
of the
the
best,
game,
that was
right?
one of the, yeah.
Can you just be
yeah.
specific?
In the game? In the
Wow,
game.
in real life.
I know,
In real
I was
life.
like,
In real
what
life.
are
I
you
was saying,
talking
that
about?
was
Can
probably
you tell everybody what you did with your brother's wife?
yeah in the
I'm
game.
like, what?
That
Well,
was
Spicy,
that was
Spicy turned red. He was like, "How does Jordan know about that?"
Yeah, how did you know?
I thought she was keeping that a
we
secret.
were very careful.
no, that was the best story I heard all week.
Oh my gosh. No, I want let's just say
I didn't even know you could
to
do
keep
that.
this family friendly, I went on a field plowing spree if that makes sense.
In the game.
In the game, I
Procreation spree.
yeah, I was. I plowed my fields for a good 20 minutes, and with several fields.
Had to see if there was any achievements.
That's actually what I was doing. Just
Because of
sure.
Odyssey,
And one of them happened to be the main story character's wife. Just
his brother's wife.
That's ballsy.
literally.
No, that's Viking.
That is a Viking.
But don't
You
worry.
are a
I
Viking.
had a game save that I went back to. You only do that just to make sure there aren't achievements. Other than that, stay.
Well, it's really funny. I feel
Stay true.
like we went into this Assassin's Creed really smart because I have like 7 game saves.
Yeah.
Different.
I've maxed them out.
How many are there?
20.
Okay.
You can have up to 20.
Yeah, that's good to
'cause
know.
There's you just gotta be careful. So,
My wife's mad at me. No, it was in the
it was in a game.
We'll have a talk later.
Before we move to the news, there are 2 more things that I just want to follow up on. One is Tetris.
Ah, yes.
Spicy, did you get a chance to play that at all this week? Tetris Effect Connected?
So-
or Jordan, did you get a chance to play it?
So I got to sit down and with my beautiful wife, who's in
Sure.
the chat right now, hearing me talk about that story.
Not
that
your
I
brother,
just read.
sister?
Yeah. With my beautiful wife, and she's very lovely. She loves Tetris, and
Yeah.
she's very, very good at it. And it's always fun to watch. And I'm like her coach. I'm like, what are you thinking? What do you think? Why did you make that move? Don't do that. Don't be sorry. Be better. I'm sitting there coaching her the whole time. So I've watched a lot of gameplay in that because it's actually very enjoyable to watch too.
Oh, it's a work of art, I think.
The music in that Tetris game, the visuals, the different game types are awesome. They have the co-op mode is really cool, and how it works. Because I sit there and watch and I try to figure out like the mechanics. I'm my analytical brain in a game where you can
Like
be better at PvP, right?
Yeah.
And my wife just loves to play it, so with our powers combined, we make a really good team.
Fitzy says coach or micromanager.
Yeah, see, she even says, my wife's in chat, he's a good coach.
There
I
you
am.
go.
I'm a
There you
good
go.
coach.
So wait, is your wife experiencing it with headphones on? Do you have because
No.
you need?
She doesn't like headphones.
Oh, okay.
So-
Have you experienced with headphones on? Because I'm telling you, at the very beginning it says this game is recommended with surround sound or headphones, and there's a reason. It's like Dolby Atmos.
Yeah.
Flying past you, behind you, on your left ear, your right ear. It is an experience of sound, orgasmic goodness, unlike anything I've played in a long time.
It's a beautiful game, and so we just did it through the TV speakers, and I could totally tell that it would sound a lot better on the on headphones, but it
headphones
still
would
is
be
a neat
amazing.
experience.
Yeah.
On that, it's called Tetris Effect Connect, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, I just want to pull this up so we can watch some gameplay so everybody here live can enjoy it.
That top one.
Is that top one work? Okay, sorry to interrupt.
That one works too. Yeah.
Okay, we'll just do this one. Anyways, I really think it's one of the better Tetrises ever made. I think they do some things that are really smart. I think that the gameplay is clean. It's a wonderful experience. They have a small little campaign that lets you kind of understand things a little bit more. And then where it really shines is just it's a Tetris that does a really good job at PvP and rankings. And it's really cool. Like the co-op is a really interesting way to play Tetris. What it does is it has 3 regular people that are sitting on their couches at home playing against a boss, and the boss is the AI, and the boss sends you.
Tetris is.
There's a meter on each person.
Yeah.
Like the co-op people have a meter, and then the boss has a meter. Every time the boss fills up the meter by creating lines, it has an ability, and those abilities are all. There's a ton of different ones. They're all constellations, if that matters to anybody. But they'll do things like they make your whole pieces disappear. So they're still there. They're just black, so you don't know where they are for like 10 seconds, and that really kind of screws up your groove.
Your placement, yeah.
But once you guys fill up your meter, then you all combine together, and you can basically send pieces to him and try to kill him. And it's really cool. My wife is on the end level on that. It's the Tetradon or something, Tetradon.
Oh, that's
And it uses, it's a boss. It's a boss fight, for real. But I think it's really strong in its PvP, which is what Tetris, I think, strengths should be. I think it's a beautiful game, and I think it's one of the best games released.
How do you guys like it compared to Tetris 99?
I think my wife likes this better.
I think it's superior. Here's why. If nobody has ever played this game or you've not yet, it is on Game Pass. Go check it out for sure. So this one is just Tetris Effect. This isn't the connected one, but that's okay because the journey is basically the same.
Yeah, let me. Just
the
pull this
connect
up then.
is what adds the multiplayer. It's this. JD Fisher in chat says it correctly. He says, I find myself spinning, moving, and dropping tetraminos to the beat. And that's exactly you. It's one of those games.
Well, it does to the beat, like on purpose. Like
it's crazy.
Yeah.
And not only that, but like the art, what's happening around.
Beautiful game.
It's amazing. It really is a work of art, and it's a game that you cannot show off on a trailer. It's a game that you can't talk about. It's a game that has to be experienced. What it reminds me of, do you remember like the first time you played Guitar Hero and you were sitting there and you hit this point and you're like, this feels really cool. Like this feels like I'm making music. That's what this does. It's an experience. That's the only way.
Yeah,
it's not just Tetris. It's an experience, and I think it's beautiful. I think it's a work of art. This game deserves awards if it doesn't have any already. And if you've not checked it out, I played it. I got to a certain point in Valhalla yesterday, and then I was like, I need to go to bed. But you know what? Let's play some Tetris. 3 hours later, I went to bed. It's just one of those. You put on headphones, you can relax. It's like therapy and chess if you were to combine them both. It is really, really nice. I really, really like it. Yeah, Brian F says, thanks for the recommendations on this Tetris. I'm loving it. And that has been everybody that I've spoken to, everyone that's had a chance to play this. It's an experience. It's not just the game, it's an experience. I think that should be their marketing point right there.
I think it's one of the best Tetris games that's ever been released. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And I haven't even dived into multiplayer like you guys have. But
and my wife, she's so good. I'm so proud of her.
Oh, yeah.
She only plays one game.
This makes me want to take Tetris serious. Like, that's how good it is, right? It is. But, yeah, if you haven't, sit down, put on a headset, and just go through the journey. And then up the difficulty and go through it again. And then up the difficulty and go through it again. It is really, really cool. And then see the zone right there on the bottom left? So there's this zone meter. And as you fill up that meter, you can hit right and left bumper, and it puts everything in slow motion for you, and you get bonus while you're doing it because it like will speed up as the song goes along and as you reach
it's like you're creating
lines.
music as you play.
Yeah,
it's really,
it's very, very good.
So the PvP they have and it's called SR, but it's an MMR. It's just like your rankings, right? They just show it to you what you are, and the more you play, the better you play. You have tons of unlocks. You have tons of stuff that you can do for it. I think it's a great game.
It's really good. So I highly recommend it. Again, it's on Game Pass. Again, showing the value of Game Pass. So there it is. Last but not least, before we get to the news, and I'm sorry, Jordan, this was probably in the news for you, but Cyberpunk came out with a demo this week, and I do want to discuss
Not
it.
a demo, a whole Night City Wire. Everything.
A whole Night
they
City
talked
Wire.
About, the music.
And they
Keanu
went back and
Reeves.
forth between the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X. And so I just want to go over it. Maybe you could summarize some of the high points, Jordan. We did drop a video on this week, youtube.com/XoneBros. And to me, they were showing like, here's the Xbox One, here's the Xbox Series X. Now, they're not dropping their Series X update until much, much later in the...
Yeah, next year.
Yeah. And so I really couldn't, I'll be honest, I couldn't tell the difference between the Xbox One X and the Series X. But despite that, all of it was amazing. I have said all along, Valhalla is the game I'm most looking forward to. This just seems too in-depth. This got me, this was the first time that it got me super excited. And the part that did it for me, honestly, was when they're driving downtown.
Yeah.
So if you type in, Spice, if you actually type in Cyberpunk demo and then just do the one from this week, Night City Wire demo, I think is what it will be.
Yeah. Yeah, they do have the new, what do they call it? I think it's like a 5-minute trailer. I think it's the one we were just watching, but it's one of the trailers that I like. It's like, here at CD Projekt Red, we strive to do this, right? And they kind of explain each features and stuff like that. It's really cool. But during the Night City Wire, if you're interested in the music, they talked a lot about the music in this one. They talked a lot about I won't tell you because I don't know if you.
The one from 2 years ago?
Is that 2 years? That's
I
not
don't
it
know.
then.
I don't know if you want it spoiled or not, but they talk a lot about Johnny Silverhand, which is Keanu Reeves' character.
One more down, Mark. Right there.
This one? Right here?
Yeah. because it compares the Xbox One and the Xbox Series.
Yeah, they talk a lot about Johnny Silverhand's character,
Johnny
which is Keanu Reeves. They actually have an interview with Keanu Reeves, and they go behind the scenes on how they did like the mocap and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's actually a really good episode. What I like is this week they showed off that new trailer, and if you noticed, well, okay, let me give you backstory. So there was a rumor that they were going to delay it again.
Sure.
That rumor I don't think is going to be true. I think CD Projekt Red maybe squashed the rumor, but I'm not sure. Anyway, there was a rumor. But if you notice on the gameplay here and then the new trailer that they showed, that 5-minute trailer, it no longer says in development, work in progress.
Very cool.
They also released a new trailer with the release date December 10th, right? So I do think it is coming for sure on
December 10th.
Yeah, I do think it's coming for sure on December 10th. I mean, that being said, that's still a few weeks away. We don't know, but I think it's coming for sure on December 10th. I'm really excited for it, and it should be good. Even without the Xbox Series X enhancements, the game still looks good.
Oh, yeah, that's
And
what I'm
it's just
saying.
gonna
Like,
run, and it's just going to run smooth.
I honestly couldn't really see a difference. I will say this. This is the part that got me excited, because my question is the world. Look at this world.
Yeah.
Like, this is the first time that we've really, like, driven through the heart of the city to see what's going on, where things are about. Number one, the vehicles look badass. Who doesn't want that car? And that's not even, like, the main car that we've seen so far in the trailers or
customize
games
your
or
cars.
artwork. That looks amazing. But look at the scale of everything around you, the density of everything around you. And then they obviously show off during this week's video and demo between the Xbox Series X and Xbox One X, the activity that is happening around you. It looks really cool. Like, just this part is like, whoa.
Yeah. Now, they did get some of the press did get to play the game for quite some time, and a lot of people were talking about the first-person aspects, like the gunplay and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And some people like the combat, some people don't. I mean, combat's just going to be a preference thing, like it is in any game. But what a lot of them were saying is, don't expect this game, or don't expect to come into this game and just treat it like a regular first-person shooter, because it's not. It's what they're saying is it's first and foremost an RPG that's in first person. You know what I mean? So that being said, and that's when they got into, like, a lot of people like the combat. Some people didn't care for the early combat, but once they were able to, like, do different combos of melee and guns and stuff, they said it got really fun. But they basically kind of said it's almost like Assassin's Creed. You got to play into it a little bit for things to open up, and that's how Assassin's Creed is, right? I mean, you got to play into it for probably
from what
the
they
prologue, and it opens up.
Yeah,
right?
from what they show off of the combat in this, and granted you're probably leveled up at this point that they show off, but the gunplay looks crunchy. Like it looks like an RPG gunplay. It's not arcadey at all, right? Like it's deliberate and crunchy, and there's digital strippers everywhere, which I absolutely adore.
Who doesn't like that?
In fact, there's
Just so bless their hearts.
Yeah, just bless their hearts. There's a part in this trailer where you're walking outside an alleyway, and there's, like, people looking through, a glass window of plus 18 strip club, apparently.
Yeah, what do you do?
Bless their hearts.
Bless their hearts. Jordan, what did you think overall of what you
It
see?
made me really excited, especially that new trailer that they came out with, like going over different features and stuff. This game is my most anticipated of this year. I'm pretty positive we're getting it on December 10th, just because no more in progress stuff on their trailers and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And this close, they released a whole new trailer with the date, so very exciting. Just a few weeks away, and this is going to be a fun one.
Spicy, your thoughts?
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this game for a very long time. Years and years and years.
Yeah. T-Bucket says most hype game of my lifetime. I think that statement is not an overstatement. I think that is correct. I think this is, for good reason, off of the success of Witcher 3, off of the ambition that is so clear here in the game, and then just everything that we've seen, people get more and more hyped. And again, for me, the world's vastness. Here's the first person shooting, and it does look like RPG first person shooting, but I'm not saying that as a bad thing, right? It's deliberate, and crunchy. Like, I love the pistol right there. That's really cool.
Well, and there's gonna be, like, it's not you shoot they die. Obviously, you can see people have health bars and stuff like this, right?
Did you notice he shot the grenade out of the air?
Yeah, very cool stuff. Yeah, very cool stuff.
There's the digital stripper again.
And he got an achievement.
Oh, and he just chopped a dude's head off with
a sword. Yeah, and
that's what some members of the press were saying. That's when it gets fun. Is they were able to do some melee stuff with their range stuff, and they did say given that was a little bit into the game when things started to open up, especially when you get into your skill
it's
trees
right here.
and stuff like that.
It's right here, right there. That's the window. Look at 18 plus. See it? Look at looking through the window, and it's like a robot lady.
Do you see what they say? How did she do that without breaking her back?
How did she? She is just so talented. They're like sitting around talking. Overall, the hype is real on this game. This game, it looks cool. It looks gritty, but I think the thing that stands out to me the most is the scale of the detail and density of the scenes that we've seen of the city.
Well, and we do know that a lot of these buildings, I won't say all of them because I don't. PP, I didn't notice that the first time through.
Yeah,
on the left there. Yeah, sorry, the store. That's the name of the store. I didn't notice that. Anyway,
well, I wonder what they sell.
Anyway, we do know that a lot of these buildings that he's walking through in these alleyways, you can go into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of interiors.
That's
you know what I mean?
what's
Which
crazy.
is
just the full ambition.
Yeah.
Of it. Anyways, there you go.
Very exciting.
That brings us finally, we're like the prologue of modern games here.
Yeah.
Let's throw up the title screen. Yeah. That brings us to the portion of the show where we talk about what's new in the world of Xbox. Jordan, tell us what has happened this week.
So first, Tim Stewart, he's the Xbox chief executive officer. As he spoke during the Jefferies Interactive Entertainment Virtual Conference
that's a long
this
title.
week, and he was asked a question about the Bethesda stuff, which we've been talking about on and off for the past little while. But he was asked a question about will you basically make everything exclusive to the Xbox stuff? Now, this is what he said. He said, quote, "We don't have any intentions of just pulling Bethesda content out of Sony or Nintendo or otherwise. However, even if these games come to the other systems, he believes..." Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let me start over.
Start over. Go ahead. Restart.
Restart. Mulligan. Okay. We don't have any intention. He says, quote, "We don't have any intentions of pulling all Bethesda content out of Sony or Nintendo or otherwise. What we want is that content in the long run to be either first or better or best, or pick your differentiated experience on our platform.
Sure.
We want Bethesda content to show up best as on our platforms." Then he goes on to say, so quote, "So again, I'm not announcing pulling content from other platforms one way or another, but I suspect you'll continue to see a shift towards first, better, or best approach on our platforms," right? So a lot of people, there's been a lot of big news stories, people taking this as maybe not, we're not, Starfield won't be exclusive, this and that, blah, blah. He never says they will or they won't. He just kind of gives a vague answer. I think the reason we get vague answers is because the purchase is not finalized until 2021. So I don't think Microsoft and their staff are allowed to say. They're limited.
I do think it's grasping at straws. You don't spend $7 billion. Again, I'll say it again. I'll say it again until I'm blue.
7.5.
You don't spend $7 billion to allow the thing that you purchased to be everywhere that it already was. There's a reason you buy it for $7 billion, and it's not to have it best on your box only. It's to pull people. And the reason that people are grasping at straws and that there's so many news stories about this all the time is because that's how good of a deal it is. That's how earth-shattering it is because people are still... They legit will come for a Bethesda game to your system, to your ecosystem. That's why you spend $7 billion.
Now, a lot of people are talking, like at the very beginning, he said, we don't have intentions of just pulling all Bethesda content out of Sony or Nintendo or otherwise. I think that's more geared towards current content. Obviously, they're not going to pull out, Skyrim, right? All that stuff. Yeah. And they're obviously not going to stop developing Fallout 76 for all these consoles, right? Because it's a multi-platform. I think anything that's multi-platform now will stay multi-platform now. What I think is at the least, and I'm going to say this might make people upset. At the very least, they need to do timed exclusives for, let's say, Starfield. Right, the next big Bethesda exclusive. If you're not just going to make it exclusive to Xbox and PC, right, your Xbox ecosystem, you at least need to do it timed, right? Because, and I'm going to say this, and this is where people are going to get mad. You need to give people a reason to buy your console. Right?
Doyle in chat says he thinks that they still make money if it's played on another system. The difference is that it will be free with Game Pass. Here's my issue with that. I agree that I think that is. That is best case scenario if it comes to all systems. But how much better of a sales pitch that is not just free, but the only place you can experience it is on Game Pass. And I think the best analogy is either Disney Plus or Netflix. We're seeing this right now, right? Mm-hmm. Netflix doesn't allow The Witcher to be a timed exclusive on Netflix. Like, oh, it's going to be here the first year, and then we'll release it everywhere else after that, right? No, Netflix spends the money to get the rights on Witcher, so that everybody has to watch Witcher on their service. Yep. This is the new ball game, and it's not the new ball game. It's kind of the old ball game. PlayStation has really rocked it with first party exclusives. But now that Game Pass is the future, not consoles, Game Pass is, your ecosystem is, it's even more important to give people a reason to subscribe monthly to it. And having games, having a huge library like Bethesda is that reason. If that's not what you were going to do, if you were only going to have the games be free on Game Pass, right? Have Bethesda. There are lots of games that you've made deals with to do that doesn't cost you $7 billion. You could have a contract with them. You could have, every Game Pass, every third-party game that's in Game Pass right now is an instance where you didn't buy the studio, but you got them in Game Pass, right? Like, you don't spend $7 billion to not have every single future title of that company's game exclusive to your ecosystem.
Well, that's why I think at the least they need to do at least a timed exclusive for a year. You know, like Starfield is on Xbox for like what PlayStation is doing with Final Fantasy, right? Because I mean, you release it exclusive on your console for a year, and then you release it everywhere else to make all that extra money, right? The reason being, and I don't mean this in a bad way, because I think there's plenty of reasons to buy an Xbox, but you need to give people a reason to buy an Xbox. And let's be honest, what sells consoles? First-party titles. Who has the better first-party titles right now? PlayStation does, hands down. I mean, we'll just say it, right? I think Microsoft is making a lot of good moves, and there's a lot of good first-party titles coming. But I mean, if you have Bethesda as your first-party titles,
I do think that the media slants towards PlayStation. Overall. Are we in agreement on that?
I don't think that's a thought. I think that's 100%
can't even
fact.
argue that.
Yeah, I think that's a fact.
Obvious.
Would these stories even be cropping up if the purchase was reversed? If it was PlayStation that had bought out Bethesda?
No, it would just be Sony dominates again.
And that to me shows you the reality of the situation on the ground is that, and we keep having to have this discussion because they keep grasping at straws. The reality is, if you're a business, you make this purchase for exclusivity. It's like paying for A-Rod, the highest paid baseball player of all time when that contract was made. Everyone in America would have got 27 cents based off of his contract. Like, it is insane the amount of money. And then saying, "Oh, well, we'll let him play for the Dodgers as well." No. You pay that money so that he's exclusive to you have exclusive rights, right? And that's the same with Bethesda. I do think it's these news stories pop up because I do think that the media in the gaming world does tend to be a little bit more PlayStation heavy, and for good. I mean, at this point, for good reason. Microsoft hasn't given them a reason to switch and be pro Xbox necessarily until they're much more aggressive now in making these moves. So
no, I think at the very minimum, I do think some of these games are going to be just straight up exclusive to the Xbox ecosystem.
I think,
but at the minimum, I do think like Microsoft. I mean, I'm not a super business strategist, right? But I do think at the minimum, Microsoft does need to make them at least timed exclusives because, again, the one thing that sells consoles heavily. I mean, there's a lot of things that sell consoles, but the one thing that heavily sells consoles is first-party games, right?
Yeah.
PlayStation has a lot of those, and they have a lot of good ones, right? Microsoft is getting a lot of those, and they're hopefully shaping up to be really good ones, right? And they're on their way, and they're making moves to do that. I think this puts them on par.
No, let's just look at the next Elder Scrolls whenever that drops, right? Whenever we get word of that.
Yeah.
That's going to be exclusive on Xbox, everybody.
That would be a dominating
I
move.
would, if you're out there and you're hoping that it's not going to be, except today, that it's going to be exclusive on Xbox. It's like if and ask yourself this, if PlayStation bought Rockstar, would the next Red Dead or the next Grand Theft Auto be everywhere? The answer is no, because it would just be exclusive, as it should be, to whoever purchased them. That's the power of having that kind of title on your game. That's why you make that purchase.
Yep. No, I agree. So anyway, it was big news this week.
Yeah,
which is very funny. Jumping into the other stories, patch notes for Call of Duty. They're coming out.
Very nice.
they're coming out with first week patch, which deals with just your typical stuff, weapon balancing, tuning, all that fun stuff. But what's interesting is in their patch notes, they talked about some of their future stuff. So right now, there is a free Nuketown weapon bundle, which you can redeem for free all the way up until December 3rd, which includes an epic weapon blueprint, 6 weapon charms, and a Nuketown-themed calling card, sticker, and emblem. So be sure to log in and get that. It's free for everybody, so don't worry about it. And then what they're doing as well is they talked about their new prestige system, which is basically going to be, they're calling it season levels. These levels represent the new prestige progression through the new Call of Duties, and it will be unifying with the other Call of Duty Modern Warfare and Warzone. So from what I understand, the current prestige system in Modern Warfare will be changed to this new prestige system,
There you go.
which is basically each season you'll have season levels, which you'll then prestige and go through. And when you hit these prestige levels, you'll unlock or once you unlock your first prestige key, it'll allow you to unlock the prestige store or the prestige shop, which then you can use to unlock legacy prestige icons from previous games. That's all they really talk about in the prestige shop right now. But I think what you do is make it worth it for people to prestige, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you put it. I think what you do is maybe pull it, but obviously put in some cool stickers, icons, all that stuff, right? Nameplates, but maybe even a cool prestige character skin for some of the characters, right? That's what I think you do.
Prestige underwear.
Yeah, prestige underwear.
Prestige underwear.
No, I think because right now it just says there's the prestige shop will also become available to players who earn their first prestige key, which will allow players to unlock legacy prestige icons from previous game, which is cool, right? Because then you'll see that icon, you're like, oh man, that guy's hardcore. He got the prestige icon from Black Ops 2. I mean, he's up there, right?
He's up there.
But I think what you also do is put certain like rare skins in that prestige shop as well. Right,
Yeah.
So when you prestige so many times, you have access to unlock this cool skin or whatever. But like we said, this system will carry over to Warzone and Modern Warfare with the new Season 1, which will be launching, I believe, on December 10th. Right now, the prestige system is in place, I believe, on Cold War. It's kind of the preseason right now. You can't prestige like what you'll be able to do during the regular season. It's just kind of a little preseason prestige that you can do. I think you can go to Prestige 3. Season level 100 is what they call it, whereas in the regular season you'll have 1,000 season levels, so you'll have quite a bit. But anyway, preseason right now, the regular season will start on December 10th, which is when we're going to get all the new stuff for Call of Duty and some new Warzone stuff, which everybody's really excited for as well.
Super exciting.
But anyway, moving on, we also have FIFA 21. Is adding a free David Beckham content for all players, which is very cool. You're going to get a
Waxed hair
yeah.
for all your characters.
You're going to get that would be cool. You're going to get a David Beckham card for FIFA Ultimate Team, and you'll also be getting he's also being added as a groundbreaker in the Volta football mode. Both of these extras will be added on December 15th, so they're not available now, but they will be coming, and they're free for everybody, which is really great. Did you guys ever play Serious Sam?
I never did, no.
Well, guess what? You can play it now.
Oh,
I know a lot of people really like it.
Yeah, the Serious Sam
that was a
collection.
great segue to the next story.
The Serious Sam collection is now available on the Xbox One. I think I've played a little bit of the second Serious Sam. It's basically it's like a Duke Nukem, like a hilarious
or what's
hardcore
Bullet Storm?
No, I think it's more because it's more like cheeky than that. You know what I mean? Yeah,
you cheeky.
Anyway, but Serious Sam collection now available for the Xbox One. Also, Overwatch doing a little event going on.
Oh yeah, that game.
So yeah, that game does stuff. Symmetra's restoration challenge is going on now. A lot of Symmetra skins going on, a lot of Symmetra content going on. Right now, basically, if you do your weekly challenges, you'll get skins. It's going on now until I have the date pulled up here. Now until
going on now.
The
November
30th, November 30th, so the end of the month. So if you want that Symmetra stickers or the Symmetra themed stickers and sprays, and then of course the skin, be sure to play now until November 30th.
There you go.
Which is really great. Now jumping into hardware. We got some news from Apple about Xbox. So they are working with Microsoft to get the Xbox Series X controller to pair with Apple devices. Now, this is nothing super intense because all the previous Xbox controllers are allowed to pair with Apple devices, but if you really like the new controller, you will be able to pair it hopefully soon with the update that Microsoft
I really like
and
the
Apple
new
are-
controller. I think it's phenomenal.
I agree. Yeah, you look at me for he's right, Jordan.
Oh, okay.
It's phenomenal.
He looks at me like, is he saying it right? Yeah, I think it's phenomenal. He used the right word. Back to you, Jordan.
Thanks. Also, the next one, let's talk about Thrustmaster for a minute.
Ooh.
Now, this one's cool. If you want to pull up a picture of this controller, Mark,
Yeah,
it's pretty awesome. So it's the Thrustmaster eSwap X Pro controller.
Oh my
for
gosh.
Xbox Series
Hold
X.
on.
Whoa.
Thrustmaster
eSwap
X Pro controller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now
wow.
this controller, I'm going to call it right now. I think this controller is going to give the Elite a run for its money.
There's a lot here. What am I looking at? Here?
Go back to all
Okay.
and just go to that first one, the website, because I think they give you like a gallery you can go through.
Oh, okay. Good call. Is this it?
So, yeah, that's it. So now and I don't know if you want to pull up the gallery or if you can. Yeah, there we go. So now what's cool about this controller is it's got everything the Elite controller has. You can swap out the sticks, you can swap out the D-pad. It has the 4 buttons on the back. Now on the back, the Elite controller has paddles, whereas this one just has buttons. Without getting my hands on it, I don't know what's going to feel better. It seems to me like the paddles are going to feel better on the bottom because they're just easier to access. But it does have the 4 buttons right there on the
Yeah,
bottom.
You can barely see them.
I do believe if you look, if you zoom in, those things at the top are for the triggers, for the hairline triggers, and then of course, if you go to some other pictures, it'll show you can take out the sticks.
Same
It's
thing.
entirely modular. You can take everything out and put it back in, which is really cool. Now, where I think this one puts itself ahead of the Elite controller, I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see, but. If you can get a bottom view of the controller underneath, right there is kind of a good view. You can see those
are buttons.
Those
Programmed buttons.
well, so those
Macros?
are no, they're all for voice control in different profiles. But what's cool is the voice control is built in, so you plug in you don't need that dongle anymore. You plug it right in. It has up volume, down volume, all right there on the voice controls. I actually think that's a nice little. It's the little features that I like.
Oh yeah.
You know what I
it
mean?
also is kind of a sexy looking.
It does. It looks good.
Controller.
I've not held this controller. I don't know. It does have the share button, like you guys like on the new controller, which the Elite controller doesn't have at this point. I don't know how many profiles are loadable, but you can download the Thrustmaster software on your PC and completely customize the controller how you want to do it.
I'll tell you what I really like about it. I think those buttons on the back are superior than the paddles.
You think so? See,
And
I don't know. I almost
hope-
feel like the
I hope
paddles will feel
well,
better.
here's why. Because when your paddles are in, you can't grip the controller.
You can't clamp on it.
You can't. You gotta like be delicate. It's like sits in your hands in a different position. This still enables you to grip the controller, and you just reach over with your finger and press the button. I
You
think.
just did a very apt instructional on how to use a controller.
Oh yeah. But whereas the paddle, like, I think the paddle places in a more convenient for your fingers.
your fingers, yeah.
But also, you accidentally hit that, and you don't get to hold the controller. Like you would,
Sure,
without those.
Anybody
paddles.
that's had an Elite controller knows exactly what you're talking about.
And I think these buttons on the back, as long as it's not a stretch to hit them, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's superior.
Yeah. Now the Elite controller does do a lot of cool stuff too. Like I really like that you can tighten your tension on your joysticks. I don't know if this one does that for sure or not.
What about the triggers? Do they have the same like 3-tier trigger thing?
I think I don't know how many tiers they have, but if you look at the back again, there is switches by the triggers. I don't know if
right
those
there.
are
Yeah,
I don't know if those are like 3-tier or just I think they might just you have 1 tier instead of the 3 tiers. I can't actually pull the trigger all the way down now. I
You
feel
need it, right?
I really like those hairline
The
triggers
hairline
on the
So when you
Elite.
play a race car game, though,
when you play a
have
race
to.
car game, it makes sense, right? But other than that, in fighting game, like whatever I'm playing, with the exception of like Forza and stuff, I just have those as quick as they can go.
Even
You know what I
in
mean?
sports games, having that hairline trigger, you juke faster. Like it gives you an advantage. It really
So
does.
I think I like Thrustmaster's products. They do good stuff. So I do want to get my hands on this. I don't see it's not. There is a textured grip around it, but I don't know if it's as textured as the Elite controller.
The
So
question is,
it's just going to be
the question is what does the next Elite controller do?
Series 3 or
And
whatever.
I think it would. I bet you it goes to buttons. I bet you they take some stuff from this.
Yeah, this is an alternative.
Buttons. It already has buttons. What he's talking about is the buttons
On
on
the
the
other
back
side,
and
yeah.
the side and the
Yeah,
bottom.
I bet you we get away from paddles.
Yeah, so I'm not too sure about that grip, but we'll see on the Thrustmaster. But anyway, I do think this is definitely a contender. At least it gives you options. It
Yeah.
is actually the same price. It's $149.
Yeah.
So same price. So it's really just kind of what you prefer.
Can I ask you? Do we have that D-pad? Looks like it's going to be atrocious for like fighting games. Do we have? I know that like this picture right here shows you can take it out.
Swap it out, yeah.
Swap it out. Do we have any idea what you can swap it out with?
I don't know. They really you can swap it out with something, I assume.
Well, they're.
I
in
mean,
this
they're pulling it
picture
out.
right here. They're pulling it out.
There's a little video. I wasn't really looking at the D-pad. I was more looking at the sticks. You can completely change the sticks, so you can pull the stick out like that, but you can also pull the stick off that little module as well and change it to a different stick too. I assume you can do that with the D-pad stuff. I'm not 100%
I like
sure.
that they went this direction. You want to know why? Because if your D-pad or joystick breaks, you can just buy a whole new
Well, if it starts to drift,
replacement one like that and pop it in.
yeah, you can just pull it out and
Get a new one.
that's pretty cool.
That maybe the new series will.
And
take
just
that
so
into
everybody
account.
knows, I do believe it is wireless. They're showing the cord in here. You can plug it in. It is chargeable, but I do believe it's wireless. In the video,
There
they
you go.
show them playing it wireless
Is it
as well.
permanently wireless, or like the Elite, can you plug it in and have a direct?
No, you can
connect?
plug it in and have a direct connect too.
You can too?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
that's
good.
also functions as a charger as well.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah, so very cool. I'm excited. I like Thrustmaster's stuff.
There you go.
Cool.
That brings us to the last segment of our show. This is the segment of the show where we take your questions. To submit a question, you can do so each and every single week over at youtube.com/X1Bros. Hit that community tab. And as long as you remember, you can submit a question. First question, we're just going to take a few of these questions. We got a lot this week. We're just going to take a few. Nathan Lesage writes in and says, will Xbox show new AAA gameplay at the Game Awards? If yes, which game is most likely? So off the top of my head, I think there's two games that are most likely, but I think the most likely one is Halo Infinite.
Sure. That was a cop-out answer.
And no.
I don't know.
The other one that I think if we don't get Halo Infinite, it's because there is something seriously wrong.
Yes.
And it seems like that might be the case.
I don't think we get Halo. I don't think they show Halo Infinite again until there's a solid official release.
But I do think,
You know what I
so
mean?
if we don't get that, I think we get Microsoft Flight Simulator
See, that would be
on the
good.
console showing with maybe like an announcement date of, March or April or something like that. It's coming to consoles. Although, having said that, the initiative has been making some noise the last couple weeks and rumors on the initiative announcing whatever big title they're working on.
It's perfect.
So
Dark.
maybe you like what I did with my hand.
yeah, it's
big,
good.
The
I'm
big title that
impressed.
they're working on. We might get that. I don't know.
I think it's gonna be Perfect Dark. Stars are aligning.
Fable.
It all makes sense.
Spicy thinks we're gonna get Fable.
Fable,
Ooh,
might
that would
be
be
like
big.
a gameplay trailer. Yeah, that might be
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
That's a
There you
good
go.
one.
Great question, Nathan Lesage. Thank you very much for submitting it. Next question comes from, let's go to Chris BD. Chris BD. He writes in and says, will the Series S have some initial graphical hiccups because some developers are using the 1S version of the game compared to developers using the 1X version for the Series X? I think basically will Series S have less graphical power because developers are developing for two different things? I think Phil Spencer. I mean, everybody's gone over that. What is the system that they're using where it automatically
Velocity
does it?
architecture.
No. There's a developer system that they have. I can't remember what it's called. Dang it.
The developer box that they send out to people.
Yeah, there's like a
They
software.
cost like $2,000 or something.
Yeah,
and they use
it's
it
like
to
a
develop
software.
games.
So basically, and maybe Spicy would be better to go in over this, but Crispy D, basically you develop for the X and it scales it for everything else. The development software.
Isn't that in their engine usually? It just makes it easy with Microsoft, Windows, and Xbox because they're all the same.
That's
Theoretically-
what it is. GDK.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is. I knew it was a G. I just didn't want to say. Coffee Cup Tastic. Thank you very much. Yes, the GDK.
There you go, yeah.
That's what it does. Spicy, anything to add, take away from that question?
No,
Okay.
I don't think there's going to be any issues. And the reason I say that is because we have years and years and years of gaming on PC development, and if they can figure that out with the millions of parts being developed in China, in the Philippines, in South Korea, and everywhere where parts are, hardware is being created, right? You have Corsair, I think, is in Seoul. I don't know. You just have parts everywhere being developed for the PCs, and game developers are still able to come together and make things work well for PC games. Everybody knows the hardware out of the 3 boxes that are
Yeah.
or 5 boxes at the most 5 boxes,
Well,
right?
yeah, they know exactly what they know exactly what's in there and exactly what resources they have
Correct.
from the operating system
So,
and everything like that.
I
so.
think it's actually going to be more of a relief that they're developing for stuff like that than what.
Then a hindrance.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's going to be fine. Yeah.
Well said. Thank you very much. Great question, Chris BD. Thank you very much for writing in. T Buckets writes in and says, "Hey, bros. Over the last several months, I think I've had some of the best online gaming experiences in Call of Duty Warzone.
It's good.
Reason being, crossplay. A lot of my close friends are spread among the PlayStation, Xbox, and PC, and being able to bring everybody together has been amazing. Not to mention, it makes it so easy to get a full squad. Do you think crossplay is going to be standard for online gaming with this new generation? Keep up the amazing work you all do." Jordan, let's start with you. Crossplay.
I think it needs to be if it's not already, because I actually get frustrated when games don't cross-play, and I even get more frustrated when games don't cross-save.
Yeah.
So I think it's becoming a new standard because more and more games are doing it. But I think it's one of those things that it just, I mean, we can do it. What's stopping us? You know what I mean?
Spicy.
No, I agree. He said everything I wanted to say. So yeah.
There you go.
Why not?
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
why
what
not?
like we could do it.
We could put them out on the moon, but we can't play the same game.
Yeah.
It's why I get frustrated. I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say it out loud again.
Go ahead, say it.
It's why I get frustrated that like games on Blizzard games like Hearthstone and stuff. Why are they not on the console?
Amen.
Because people and the excuse is like, oh, well, you gotta log into your Battle.net. I gotta do that on Diablo. You're telling me I can log in from 8 different computers, but I can't log in from my Xbox? You know what I mean?
On another computer?
Yeah. I'm just saying. It's possible. I know why people don't do it. I think
I can log in. I can log in from a $15 burner phone.
Yeah, but I can't log in. No, and it's not just it's not just Blizzard. I just use that as an example because I think Hearthstone would work perfect on the console. And don't tell me the controls will suck. No, they won't.
Yeah, shut the hell up.
Yeah, come on. No, they won't. If I can make my controller work good with Escape from Tarkov, an experienced developer can make a controller work with a card
all
game.
you
With a
need,
3-button game.
all you need is A and a joystick.
And if you really want to
And you can even keep the joystick. I don't even need the joystick.
and if you really want to go crazy, you can use the bumpers to like quickly go across your
your
cards,
cards.
right?
A and a joystick. I mean, look at even in Assassin's Creed, the main menu is the Destiny circle that you move the joystick up and you press A.
That's
all
the
you
bare
need.
minimum that you need to do. Is give me a fake mouse.
And guess what? I don't know. I'm just saying, if I could do it with Tarkov and make it a playable, good experience, an experienced developer can do it with a card game.
Jordan is taking some pretty significant, leaps and bounds in technology.
Tarkov's going to be contacting him shortly.
He can put a controller. He make that game play with a controller. All we need is an A button.
Efficiently.
And a joystick.
Hey, efficiently. I felt like I was playing efficiently, right? Anyway.
He got some kills.
Well,
dude.
remember the old
He never gets kills.
Remember like the fight, like the fighting special edition fighting joysticks you can get where it's just a giant platform with a joystick and a red and blue button?
Yeah.
That's more than you need.
Just get one that's like this big and then get the old. You could do it with the old Atari 2600 joystick.
With the ball?
Well, not even the ball. It has a joystick and a button.
On the joystick.
And one on top. Yeah. Just give me that. I will pay an extra $5.
And I don't mean to harp on Blizzard. I'm actually really excited to play the new Warcraft expansion next week. But I'm just saying, I think I like playing Hearthstone a lot.
Yeah, I see you playing it
Mark plays
yesterday,
Mark plays it religiously.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be nice to lay down on your couch and just play it on the TV? You know
That
what I
would
mean?
be great.
And
Yeah,
with achievements?
Yeah.
They
They just added their own version of achievements.
which me and Jordan have been laughing about.
Which okay, can I
Can
tell
we-
you?
yeah,
can I-
can we
my
soapbox this a
opinion?
little bit?
Okay.
Soapbox achievements for
Well,
me.
can I? Okay.
Or Blizzard's own achievements.
So okay.
It's nice. Let's start off. Let's start with a positive.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice that they added achievements.
Do you think that's Mikey Barra? He was a big achievement guy.
It might
Might
be
be.
actually.
Yeah.
He might have came
I
in
gotta
and
be
said,
careful now because he's a good friend. I like him a lot.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we do. I think he's doing a good job. It was probably his
Okay.
idea for the achievements.
But somebody else other than him, I'm sure, made it so you can't get any of the rewards for the achievements unless you go into each one and press A.
Oh, so they
Or-
don't just
or
pop.
click.
And
They don't just pop.
No,
You have to
no,
open them?
No, they pop. And so it comes up, you got an achievement. You're like, oh, great. And then you have to go in and you have to click the achievement
to actually get it.
And then press like the check mark or whatever.
Like, I got it.
Yeah, I want to accept this.
Yeah. And this is where it really kills me. To just get your gamer score. Like, some achievements are tied to the Tavern Pass and they give you experience, but not all of them. Some of them just give you gamer score, from what I understand. Why do I want to go click a button
to get your gamer
to
score?
get my gamer score?
Yeah.
Just give it to me.
On top of that, can I add this? The season pass. You know, like so they just added like the season pass, right?
Tavern Pass, yeah.
They call
it's
it the
basically
Tavern Pass.
it's their version of the Battle Pass.
It's
right?
the battle pass. You don't get your rewards unless you go into the battle pass and click
Oh, that
on
just
it.
doesn't drop?
No, you have to go. I was like, man, this sucks. I've been playing this. I'm on level 20 and I've gotten nothing. And then
But they're all sitting waiting for you.
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh, you have to go in and click.
I wonder
you
why.
can't do all. You have to click.
I wonder
click.
why.
What I think I know why.
Okay.
I know exactly why they do it. What I think happened is some poor guy had to pull up Microsoft Word and he had to type in all the descriptions for all these achievements, and he wanted his work to be seen. And I think that's what happened.
He's like,
It's a power move.
if I'm gonna say no. So Vigor does that, but Vigor, when you go to your battle pass, it will pop your achievements for you and show them, and you just press A to get past that screen,
and then
which technically downloads it for you. Right?
Imagine if you on Xbox Live had to go into your achievements.
So this is like a step further than like what a Vigor does.
Yeah. Imagine if you had to go into your achievements and individually look at every achievement and press A to get the gamer score added to your gamer score.
Even World of Warcraft, who does really good achievements, does not do that. The achievement pops, and if there's a mount, let's say there's a mount tied to that achievement, the mount is just automatically in there. I think the reason they do it is because they want you to see what achievements you're getting.
Dude was
But
like,
to be
"Hey, man.
honest, if
Hey,
I want
man.
to see what achievements I'm getting, I'll go in and see it. But
Hey, man.
I think it's the Microsoft Word.
Hey man, I wrote this in Word.
It's a power move by Steve.
I had to. It's by Steve. Steve, I wrote this in Word. I had to export it to EPUB version and PDF. Someone's seeing my work. Okay,
Okay,
I am not.
I don't
that's
care
it.
what you got to do to program this in there, but I need to be seen.
Well, and it's not like I don't know. It's not. I don't know. Maybe the UI guys wanted to. Hey, we did all this UI work. They should see it.
Yeah.
know.
Well,
But
it
it
is
was
true.
just-
Like
it was
even
just-
even Vigor, like that you have to even press a button. Like just do it. You know what I mean? Like why? That is a good point.
Just
That's
give me my
hilarious.
crap.
It's funny. Amongst the other changes that we don't need to go into that totally screw over everybody, that they said that, yeah, you're going to get more gold. We're removing gold from every daily. And then you have to, you have to buy the season pass. It's just
We should make this a segment like glitch of the week.
Glitch of the week.
Glitch of the week or
power move of the week.
Power move of the week, right?
by a game developer.
Because actually, having said that, in Vigor there was a glitch this week. It was called the XP bug. So as you level your battle pass, if you turned off your game, for some people, it didn't happen to me, but if you exit the game, it would erase
That would
all
suck.
of your
I'd be so
experience.
pissed.
Whoa.
You'd have to start over from level 1.
That's a power move.
No,
Yeah, that
they
was-
call those. They
Some
call
dude
those,
got fired or didn't get his raise and was pissed.
Well, they call those. Bungie had that way back when with one of their early RTS games. They call that the FU bug because it's like you want to go play a different game. All right.
You're exiting out of this game? All right. See you later.
Yeah. You gotta.
Yeah, a notification pops up. This can see your contacts. Do you approve? Yes. And then all your friends get all this. Yeah, that's a power move.
That's funny. Great question.
Genshin Impact, speaking of.
Thank you very much.
Another.
T
But
buckets.
the thing is, at least the difference between Genshin Impact and let's say the Hearthstone update that we're not too happy about. At least Genshin Impact lets me know that they're gonna screw me.
Well,
You
you
know what I mean?
assume. You have to. You
they
are
just go,
assuming
they go,
going
hey, hey, this game's really fun. We're gonna get you on your money. Like you're gonna pay us, but you're gonna have a good time.
You're gonna have a good time
And
paying
it's
us.
like okay,
It's like a casino. It's like the casino.
It's all perception, right? Like, hey, I know they're gonna do this to me, but they're right. It is fun. You know what I
I
mean?
know you're screwing me over, but I have a smile on my face doing it.
Whereas the Hearthstone update, they told us one thing, and we really didn't get any of that.
We didn't get
And they
it.
kick you in the
We were
nuts.
skeptical.
And there has been so many Excel spreadsheets showing us how we did not get what they told us.
Well, and now the free to play game now costs $20 for the Game Pass.
Oh
every
yeah, no,
season.
I feel like we talked about it with Red Dead Redemption a lot. Funny enough, Hearthstone probably their biggest money one. I don't know if it makes more than World of Warcraft, but it's probably
close.
up there, right?
It makes
I've
a
spent
lot
a lot
of
of money
money.
on that game, and Mark spent triple what I've spent.
Do you think that's why though they're making so much money that it's like, we don't need to make this perfect. We don't need to make this actually work.
I'm pretty sure. I don't think that's. I think it's
Like, you know, when you
it's
have
more like
so.
how do we get more money?
Well, you know, like when you have a lot of money and you're like, wow, I need this installed. I know this guy's overcharged me. Whatever. Let's just get it over with. Like, it's one of those, like, we could make this better,
Yeah, but again,
why?
Why would you lie?
Like, there's
about
no
it?
incentive?
Why would you? I don't know if lie is a good word. Why would you cloud the truth about it?
muddy the water.
Yeah, there you go. Muddy the
why
water
would you muddy the water?
about it, right? Like,
Basically, I mean, gold in that game is basically Disney bucks. Anyways, they made more Disney bucks to get that Disney bucks.
Yeah.
It's like some scheme that's like.
well,
It's like was real money.
It's like a broken cryptocurrency.
what they did is, I bet you the guy was playing Red Dead Redemption 2 online, and he goes, "They do this."
They do this.
Yeah, no, because it feels like they're nickel and diming you now.
Oh, really?
Funny enough, I spent a crap ton of money buying card packs of 5 cards in that game, and now I feel like they're nickel and diming me. You know what I mean? I didn't before
Wow.
but now I do.
It's pretty funny.
It feels like they're nickel and diming.
We'll
me.
have to talk about that later.
yeah.
Well, actually, there's a really good video that Mark should show you. That is probably
That'll
the
make you laugh.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Post show.
okay.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll watch
post
it post show.
Billy Pryor writes in and says, "What's up, fellas? Quick trigger here. My Series X died. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
I sent it back last week. Every time I started a game and it got to the loading screen, it would either crash with a black screen or go back to home screen. After hours on the phone with Xbox, they authorized the return. My question is,
hours, really?
what do I do with the 3 weeks it's going to take to get it back? I was just starting to kick butt in Valhalla, and I'm afraid I'll miss Cyberpunk. Other than tipping cows here in Mississippi, Xbox was my only escape.
That's funny.
So frustrating. That
is
it's terrible.
frustrating.
First of all, I do want to say this does bring up Microsoft has a Microsoft Care. If you've ordered your Xbox through the Microsoft website, it's $49. It extends your warranty on your Series X 3 years, and that includes accidental as well. So if you pour soda down it or
Pee on it.
smoke vape into it, and it
Do you
breaks,
think they actually updated their terms of service?
yeah, probably. They will replace it. It also includes it for the controller. So actually, when the Elite controller comes out, I'm going to get my Elite controller and that protection, the Microsoft
So
protection
it's gonna
for
be
it.
a
Well, see,
$250
I'd rather. Usually, I don't buy that kind of stuff. Right? I'd rather buy it. I'm glad Microsoft is doing it directly.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather buy it from them than like Walmart.
Or like Best Buy.
You know, like,
does
do you
it
want
right
the
that way.
$500 extension pack?
That doesn't work.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
So Quick Trigger is actually in chat. That sucks, man.
Yeah, that really does suck.
suck.
See, here's my question though: Do you at least have your old box, or probably not? I'm assuming.
Yeah, I would say probably
because
not.
the nice thing about Xbox being
still go back and play.
consumer friendly as they are, which I really appreciate. Valhalla, you can just re-download
Pick it up.
re-download the game on your old box. Whether it's see, he said no, but if you are in that situation, you can re-download the game on your old box and play it there, and the cloud save comes in right. That's rough, man.
Maybe there's maybe you have a friend that has both still.
Yeah.
That has
Just
the X.
borrow the old box.
What-
And just say,
about-
Can I borrow that for just
What
like
about my
a
friend? And this
couple
might be a
weeks?
stretch. What about xCloud? But see, Valhalla's not on there, I don't think. But you can at least play xCloud, so you're
there you
not,
go,
you
yeah.
know, what was the word?
Tetris
Cow
Effect.
tipping.
Tetris Effect might
Yeah.
be on xCloud.
So you might have
It will be. It's 'cause it's on Game
xCloud.
Pass, yeah.
xCloud might be your saving grace
Ooh,
here.
xCloud. Never considered the xCloud.
3 weeks though.
Game Pass for
That's
PC if you've
rough.
got a
Yeah,
PC
why?
as well.
I remember when my Scorpio, I was out for like 5 days. I think.
Because I think the supply chain is disrupted because of
That's probably true.
That's
Yeah.
it on
Well,
the
hey,
manufacturing
I guess
side.
you have the comfort of knowing that your box is literally probably 3 weeks fresh, like hot off the factory line. You know.
Yeah.
That's a comfort.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's like getting
It's like a burger.
it's like getting a fresh chocolate chip cookie
Yeah.
out of the oven. You know what I mean?
It's like
It's the
it's
equivalent.
right off,
It's
right off,
right
the
off
pot.
the factory line.
This
you know what I
burger
mean?
tastes great.
Like when he pulls out of his bite, it's gonna still be warm. You know?
Ooh, look, you can still smell the burnt plastic
Yeah.
mold. Yes.
That's the good stuff.
Yeah, the mold is still
Dude,
cool.
that sucks. Loyal Doll in chat
that's-
says, I've had an issue of my TV losing the signal when I'm watching a movie. Not sure if it's the 120 frames per second. Confused when I'm watching a movie. Oh, because you're watching it through the
yeah.
Xbox. That is interesting.
That is interesting.
Speaking of that, one of the big news stories this week.
Oh, that's the
Can I
universal
add? Can I
fix.
add loyal? There's an option in your FPS settings in the Xbox. Make sure you check allow 24 frames, allow like 24 hertz to the TV.
Oh, okay.
There's an option that
Oh,
allows
yeah.
you to go
so
down.
it's not forcing it.
Yeah.
But he does do the universal electronic fix.
Yeah.
Just turn it on and off again.
Quick
Everything
work.
works.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Regardless, quick trigger, that sucks. Luckily, there's not been too many issues of that we've heard of. We've seen some for the Xbox, some for the PlayStation, but there's doesn't seem like there's any like real Xbox 360 issues. So that is good for launch. One of the big news stories, LG is now the official partner with Xbox. It was
They
Samsung.
dropped Samsung.
Dropped Samsung.
I wonder, are they
and
suing him? Doesn't Samsung sue
Samsung
everybody?
has-
Everybody at that level sues everybody.
So, and the day that it was announced, Microsoft came out and said the best way to play our games is on LG OLED TVs. So,
Interestingly enough, that LG that everybody's buying, or that TV that everybody's buying, is that
CX
LG.
is
right?
an LG, yeah, the LG CX. It's official partnership with the Series X. So there you go. That's good to know.
Do you, excuse me? Do you feel like those partnerships bear fruit? You know what I mean?
I-
Do you think they're worth doing?
I
Because
think- I think minimal. I think at the launch of a generation, it does because people like, for instance, if I'm a parent and I'm like, I don't know what TV to get, the salesman or at a store it'll say official Xbox, right? Get
Yeah.
this for your Xbox. I think that's where
It's
it
like
comes in.
it's like Crusader Kings. You're marrying two families together, so you don't sue each other.
That
You
is
know, that's
funny.
their So
I mean,
that's the marriage that's going on.
I mean, they've been doing that forever, right? I mean, like I said, it used to be
Suing each other?
Samsung. No, well, yeah, and partnering, right? Like it used to be Samsung with the last generation. Now it's LG. I'm sure Sony is Sony, right?
Yeah.
It's like the
Oddly enough, sorry to interrupt you, I don't think there's a Sony TV that can handle the PlayStation 5 fully.
That's interesting.
That
Yeah,
is
I think I read that. Correct me if I'm wrong in chat.
Must be a different building on campus.
I don't think there is a Sony TV that does one
Well,
that can do it.
Then with
HDMI
like
2.1.
testing and everything, they had to buy other companies.
They were using Samsung.
Can you imagine the manager walking in like, guys, what?
Maybe I'm
our-
wrong.
Our TV
Maybe-
department's down the hall.
You're probably wrong. because
Maybe that
that's
was-
funny.
hold on, I'll
They're
Google
a
it. I'll
TV
Google it real quick.
manufacturer. Maybe there's no consumer grade that they have to
But
go
they
to the
have
Batcave and get the
special ones.
prototype.
Yeah, that would be funny. Can you imagine the manager walking in? Are you guys kidding me? Our TV department's down the hall. What are you doing?
Oh,
I mean,
man.
to be fair, there's actually really not a lot of TVs that have the full capacity or that have the full unlocked capacity for the new consoles as of right now. So, I mean, being fair there, right? But that is just ironic.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's that's what it is. It's that it doesn't have. There's no TV that can utilize all of the features of the PS5, right? That's a Sony TV.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So for testing, they really had to go to Best Buy.
Someone else's device. Can I say
Can
I
you
have
imagine,
I
like-
haven't had a TV in my living room or an Xbox in my living room in years. I've been all on the desk sitting there. Last night I've just had like one of the busiest weeks of my life ever. And last night I was like, I need some me time. And so the Series S is there in my living room.
Uh-huh.
I laid down on the floor, my feet up, and I played some Valhalla and some Tetris, and it was glorious. And it was nice because here's one of the big features. My wife was sitting in the room with me, and so she felt as if I was still spending time with her, even though I was gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Even though I
because
didn't
because
even-
I've really had to balance this with it being in an office at a desk, which I think is the superior way to play, especially competitively. When I do that, I'm removed, and so it's like, oh, you're not going to spend time with me? I fired that bad boy up. She was sitting next to me reading,
And she's like, my husband is so
she's
nice.
like, look at this quality time we're spending together.
What a man.
Yeah. So
Laying down with his legs kicked up
that Series S is already paying off.
as you raped and pillaged
As I
England.
literally did, yeah, I did. And then I was like playing Tetris, and I'm like, dang, I'm doing so good. And I look over, and she's not even paying attention. screw you.
On a bearskin rug in front of a roaring fire.
Naked. Yeah, it was glorious. No, but seriously, I have not, and I know you guys, like I know Spice, you always have had your setup up there.
It's awesome.
And even Jordan has had his setup on
It helps turn the world off.
Yeah, it's just because I'm not doing, like I would never do it. I don't think I would sit there and play on my couch if I was doing ranking in Madden, for instance, because it's just not as good. Like it's sitting at a desk, you're quicker, your responses are quicker, but for just like going into these open world games and doing it was a blast. I loved it.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just an idiot, basically.
Well, now you have the S though,
missing out
and I
for
bet
years.
it looks good in there too, right?
It does look good, and it does. I do notice because every time you switch a game, it changes the input based on the game. So Tetris, boom, 4K, right?
Yeah.
Valhalla, it's the 1440. It's what is it? So it's not because what's the dimensions of 4K?
Oh, like 3860 by
2160 or no 2180.
3840 by 2160.
Yeah.
I'm
So
pretty sure
and that's what's weird when it goes to Valhalla, it goes 20. It like reverses it like 21 something by like it's just lesser, and it's like that's why you think it's 4K because that's not 1080, right? You know what I mean? You're like, oh, that's not great, but no, it's like this nice in between spot.
Well,
but
and I
it's
think
still looks good.
isn't the I think it's kind of become a standard. Aren't they using a dynamic resolution as well, right? So it's you're kind of going up and down, right, depending on what you're doing.
Yeah, but every time you back out to the main menu, in the corner, like your TV pops and it's changing the resolution based on the game. It's really good. I'm super impressed. Anyways, everyone, that does us for the week. Thank you, everybody, for writing in. Thank you for tuning in and listening. Thank you for supporting us. For those of you who have not yet, we're dropping daily videos over on YouTube. We, ever since Mixer has gone, we have been on YouTube. We're all in on YouTube. It's been glorious. It's been good. It's been fantastic. Spicy, you have a shout-out story?
Oh yeah, someone recognized me.
Oh.
Yesterday. It was pretty neat.
Oh.
Shout out to the guy at the blood drive area. Love
yes! See you next week.